Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of True Dungeon Talk with Trent. My name is Trent of trenttokens.com. I'm a big fan of the game called True Dungeon and a very avid collector of tokens, which you can see a bunch of back here. Today is a very special episode. I know I say that every episode, but maybe the other times I didn't mean it, but this time I really mean it. We're going to be doing a Ring Con Riddle Reveal with Jeff Martin, the creator of True Dungeon. It was an incredible event for everyone who went. I'm sure you will agree. And if you couldn't make it, this show is for sure for you. And for the people who did go and who would like to know the behind-the-scenes rigmarole of everything with the combats and the puzzles, this show's also for you. Or if you've never heard of True Dungeon, welcome to talking about True Dungeon. But before we get to that, I want to remind everyone that at the end of the show, I'll be doing free giveaways. You can see here first place, second place, and third place. 25K bar with a chip, 5K bar with 3X, and third is a 1K bar with a 10X chip. In order to win that, you need to watch the show, sign up with the link that you'll see pinned in chat. It's I think it's over there. Maybe like over that way. And then at the end of the show, when I do the drawing, you need to say, hey, that's me, if I draw your name. You have like about a minute to respond. If you don't respond, then I'll be pulling someone else's name. But speaking of winning, for those of you who went to Ring Con, you saw potentially the SmackDown jug of gold. You can see the picture there. Big old giant jug of gold. And he did a contest. I forget what the entry fee was, but the contest was to see who was closest. You could have been under the guess or over the guess. And what you were guessing is the amount of gold that was in that jug. As you can see, it's full of tokens, and there are tokens everywhere from like 1 GP all the way up to 25 KGP. That's, by the way, next year there's going to be a 1,000 GP bar. Holy criminy crackets. Actually, no, I think they released that earlier than next year. But anywho, yes, so let's reveal the winners, okay? Drum roll, please. The third place winner, who is getting a 1K bar, and I'll mail these out to you as soon as SmackDown mails them to me. He has sent me a tracking number, so they should be getting here very soon. The third place winner is John Bow. Hello and congratulations to John Bow. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so you were the third person. The third place winner, meaning you were the third closest to the amount that was in there. The second place winner is Chris Austin. Chris Austin, you were the second place winner. That means you were second to almost guessing how much this jug of gold contained. Now, the first place winner, you're going to think this is rigged, because the first place winner was Steve Austin. That's the papa of Chris Austin. So clearly, those boys know how to count gold. It might be because they have a bunch of tokens. They rival my collection, so they are quite the collectors. And as soon as Jeff gets on, I'm going to tell him something about his guess as well. But speaking of Jeff, how about we welcome Jeff Martin, the creator of True Dungeon, doing a riddle reveal for Ring Con. Everybody say hello to Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, look at that audience.
Yeah.
They just love you. Everybody's clapping. Or maybe they're clapping for the jug of gold. That might be because of the jug of gold. Right. Yeah. Congrats again to John Bow, Chris Austin, and Steve Austin. Once I get those tokens from the SmackDown, I will mail those to you guys. And I'll email you guys to confirm your mailing address first. So, Jeff, how you doing, buddy? How's things? How's life?
I'm recovered from Ring Con, and now we're in the middle of the Gen Con panic. So, yeah, we're doing great.
Yeah, speaking of that, I probably wanted to do a Ring Con Riddle Reveal maybe a week or two after, but by the time I don't think you were recovered, I wasn't recovered yet, and then I had to go out of town for a week. So my apologies to the masses that this kind of took a while to get to, but scheduling and life and dust settling sometimes take precedence. So thank you, though, for opening up your schedule and being able to do this. We appreciate it very much.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So let's say hello to chat first. Let's start with our little chat hellos. All right. So Jordan Kinney, what up? Quizbo, Alan Alley. Oh, we're going to talk about you. Brian, another Brian, the Garrett Bay, Belinda, what up? Chris, Ashton, Valerian, what's up? Ramseldor. Oh, that is, hold on. There's Bill. Let's see. 1, 2, free for all. Hello. Well done, guys. I was sure I was close. Love to know how much it was. I cannot tell you that. I also don't know. But if you think about it, you can't know because he's going to do it again in the future. Awkward Moon says hello. David Gerspach, what's up, Dave? Ashton, hello. Ashley, what's up, Ashley? And then Bernie, what's up, Bernie? Hello to everyone and thank you all. Yes, so Alan is Graven and Logical Focus Photography. We're going to be talking about him in a quick second. So we have a metric ton of stuff to get to. So shall we just dive right into this Ring Con Riddle Reveal?
Let's do it. I got my bathing suit on. Let's go.
Your bathing suit? You do not want to see my bathing suit. It is not pretty. But you know what was pretty? Ring Con. Ring Con. Ring Con. Ring Con. Everybody say Ring Con. Ring Con. I did a stupid video where I did that. I'm pretty sure nobody watched it. It was horrible. So Adam, hello. Hi all. Happy to get the revealers. Oh, you couldn't go to Ring Con, Adam. Ooh, you missed out. Go ahead and start the plan for, what is it, 2029? Is that the next one?
2029.
2029. Yep. And you're calling it Arcanum Con, is that right?
Probably. It's a little hard to doesn't quite roll off the tongue like Skull Con and Ring Con. So
okay.
Maybe I call it something else. We'll see.
Okay.
I'll have all that, everything figured out by the time tokens go on sale in October. So.
Oh, okay, cool. I think my buddy David, I think he was calling it Stone Con. I'm not sure. Are there going to be stones happening?
And it might get a different kind of people showing up for that one. So I don't know.
Oh, okay. Oh. Bernie says ArcCon. Ashton says HagCon. 1, 2, free for all says Arcanum. Arcanacon. So, I guess you got to workshop those names. But Ring Con was awesome. It was May 29th and 30th, like hair under a month ago in Marion, Illinois at the Pavilion. Great facility. Is it way too early to ask if we'll be at this facility in 2029?
That's the plan. I have no reason to change. That's really nice. And then what's nice, too, now is starting in August, American is flying out of Marion Airport, like with a regular jet, not a little tiny one. They're going to have a couple flights a day, and so it'll be nice. It comes right out of O'Hare, so it'll be real easy for folks to get here.
Wow, that's Chicago. Cool. Yeah, my wife and I, we flew to St. Louis and rented a car.
And it's not like American Eagle; it's actually American. So it'll be real easy. It'll be all in. Yeah.
That's wonderful. And if they're starting to do that soon, I mean, that's going to be a couple of years to kind of work out any kinks, or hopefully it will grow by the time we're doing our next thing. That's great. Bach Aiden has a suggestion. TD Celebration Year number works nicely as a reusable name. True Dungeon Celebration. That's a pretty one. Valerian did the same as me. Ramseldor/Bill says, it was so nice to get to play in person. It was 4 years since I played live. 4 years. Yikes, buddy. You know, another thing that was awesome? The food trucks. The soda truck, Critical Hit Soda, everybody knows it's amazing. But the Caribbean Hut, I ate there every day. And I had a different meal every day. It was so good. How about you guys in chat? Did you guys love it? I loved it. The shrimp was great. The fish was great. I mean, it wasn't, even though it was fried, I mean, it didn't taste like greasy fried. I loved it.
Yeah, it's a local favorite here, a lot of people. And whenever we were deciding to do this, I was like, we got to get the hut. Because it's, I mean, it's a great value, what you get. It's great food. So, we were lucky. I was really happy that we were able to get him to come. So.
Yeah, I told them as much. I said that they were just incredible. I think they know how great they are. I mean, it was just so good, and it wasn't too slow. You know, it took a little bit of time, you know, to cook. But I think, you know, that's because they were cooking it. You know, so yeah, I thought they were really great. So kudos to those selections. Another thing that was pretty amazing inside the building was this open gaming area. There were a lot of people who just plopped down and played games and traded tokens and you know, chatted and hung out. It was a really cool space. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, it ended up being bigger than I thought it was going to be. When we originally thought all this stuff up, it was, you know, a couple of years ago, and yeah, we had planned on, this ballroom actually divides into 3 separate small bed ballrooms. So the open gaming was really only going to be 2/3 of that space, but so many people decided to come, which was awesome. We ended up taking the whole thing up, so that was really good that we had the space to accommodate 500 folks that were coming. We were going to put in the other third, we were going to put the silver ship stuff in there and have a lot more space for it, do something different. But yeah, we needed the open gaming room. It was definitely, especially on Friday morning, Friday afternoon, it was pretty packed. So it was good to have all that space.
Yeah, it was really great. I thought that was wonderful. Here's a short little video of that space for anybody who missed it, and also for others to kind of reminisce. Like a little 360 almost. I like how you put up all the different things from the past, the different things, the different adventures.
Yeah, it worked out. Cool. Worked out really well. That was cool to see too for me.
Yeah. Here's another shot. I think this is from the corner as you enter the back left corner. Look at that. It's just a bunch of nerds nerding out, and this is like a happy place for me. So it was great.
Yeah, it was a great facility. Plenty of bathrooms, really.
Yeah. And they were super cool, you know, helping me like clean up the mess and everything. So it was awesome. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the little pizza shindig. Speaking of that, Critical Hit Soda on purpose drove in time to get to the pizza party, so they were there. So I was able to hand out drink coupons for them to kind of whet the appetite. That's my plan, to kind of help them continue what they're doing. And then I saw Bo right when I was about to give away gifts, and here's a photo of that. And I asked Bo to talk about his canning adventure that they're doing now. They're going to be doing canned sodas of their top 3 flavors. So I'm sure we'll talk about that more in the future. Jordan says Critical Hit was the first time that he had real soda in years. Wow. Brian said the adventure banners made it super easy to make trades. Where are you? By Tuma Terror. That's a good idea. That's great.
Cool. Yeah, I thought of that. Sure.
Yeah. It's got like little markers, like Green Street or Red Street or whatever. And the Garrett Bay also says, you know, it was perfect to organize and say, I'm at this table. Belinda says the banners were practical and a fun reminder of all the great TD adventures from the last few years. I agree. So yeah, that was very cool. In addition to the little pizza party and giveaways, speaking of the giveaways, Eric, you know, was able to give away and speak a little bit about the Natural 20 soap company that he and his buddy started. You can go to nat20soap.com, and they gave away like a big, like one, you know, set of all their soaps, and I have them. I have that red one right there. It's really great. I'm not sure what that one's called, but it's very cool. So check that out. And in addition to that, Brandon's Questionable Experience Fantasy RPG show, which you can see at that YouTube link right there, Season 1 is out now. A handful of us did a little thing. I'm a sponsor there. So that was pretty fun. And here's a few pictures that I got from the interwebs. Hopefully people don't mind. This is one of my favorite things to see, is like people taking photos. I always say I'm going to take a ton of photos, and sometimes I do, but I just never remember to post them. So I'm glad other people take photos. And here's another group. of people.
The big winner.
Yeah, that's right. The first and second place there. And speaking of big winner, look at these cute little monkeys. I saw this picture too, and I just had to show it. So super. People may recognize the girl there. She does a lot of the virtual rooms, so she's great. And speaking of photography, and Alan's in chat, so everybody please thank Alan. Graven / Logical Focus. I couldn't remember Logical Focus, by the way, so I just put Alan Ali Photography. Wonderful photographer. Basically, all the photos that we're about to see are from Alan. So thank you, Alan, for doing this.
Yeah. He's also an awesome, just nice guy. I like that.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that, but he's never been nice to me, but whatever. I'm kidding. He is a really nice guy. Super cool. And doesn't he live like in Canada? Is that right?
He lives, up where they have nice summers.
Lord have mercy, the people who travel from Canada are super nice. Speaking of the Canadians, a couple of other, is it Canucks? Is that I don't know if that's a derogatory word or not. A couple of other Canadians come down and did True Grind. Now, we don't have a ton of time to discuss the combat and any puzzly oriented things for True Grind because we have so much to discuss, but it would be uncool to not mention how amazing. I think Kim was helping Raven and Paul and Joe, Paul's wife, did an incredible job with True Grind. So, big thanks to them. Valerian says it was awesome. And there's Snake Eyes / Eric. The open gaming area was the TD family gathering, he says. So what were your thoughts about True Grind at Ring Con, Jeff?
Just that it's very popular. People love it. Paul's awesome to work with, his whole crew. And it was so nice to have him there. It was another event that people got to do, and it was awesome. And I didn't have to do anything other than get the combat images ready. That was about it. All we did. So Paul did all the work. Joe, so.
Maybe put up the walls, and curtains, and then there you go.
Yeah. So he's awesome.
Yeah. If you haven't done True Grind yet, it's incredible. It's hard to describe. It was amazing before, but Paul has just leveled it up to just this incredible level. It's definitely turned up to 11 now. Not to say anything bad about the way it was before, because it was always awesome. Lots of blood, lots of heads being chopped off. I just love it. It's madness. It's not for the faint of heart, but Paul just really does an amazing job about how he describes everything, and Raven does as well, and whoever else, sometimes James helps. They just get into character, and it's just madness and mayhem, and it's amazing. So you got to try it if you haven't done that. Valerian says fast-paced and hectic. And Eric says, thanks for the Nat 20 shout-out, Trent. Of course. And Alan says, thanks, yes, on Canada. So lots to get through. Let's get to the two main topics of the day, the Sacred Circle adventure, the Riddle Reveal for that, and the Sacred Path adventure, Riddle Reveal for that. So we're going to go room by room. For Sacred Circle, what kind of intro would you like to give us for the Sacred Circle, Jeff?
Well, this, I guess first, so I've thought of this idea a few years ago. I thought it'd just be really cool if the adventure ended up being like you making the actual cool transmute token. So that's why at the end, spoiler room 7, that's why we did it that way. So I just thought it'd be cool that it tells a story. So when you have that token and you look at it, it'll help you remember basically how you got it in game, which was through this module. So I thought that was a cool little hook to do. And then this, we tried to tie it in well to the spring virtual stuff that we did, and it kind of dovetails nicely into what happened there. There was basically, you're just here, since you've made it to the Order of the Dawn, you're now a member, you get this little proving test. If you can be extra specially cool, you're going to get a ring at the end. So this is them going to this little special little circuit through this enchanted wood to basically try to make this ring, collect the rings, and then transmute them.
Very cool. I like the tangible aspect of it, that we were actually doing something, and this was the story of us doing that. I thought that was a pretty cool idea. So the first room of the Sacred Circle was called Silver Guardian. So I've looked at the modules now, and I have the labels of the modules. So I'll be sharing those names. And if you didn't know, this was called the Silver Guardian. So what was going on in room 1 here with the Silver Guardian?
Well, this is where you start your adventure. You got to basically defeat this kind of like a silver dragon spirit. It gets summoned by the NPC, and it can't talk. You it had a breath attack for cold. It it had some spell resistance because it was basically kind of an enchanted thing, and it was considered a dragon and a construct both. So it got some immunities, and it also then got some other things. So, but it was a fun little adventure. We ended up couldn't really animate it very well because we had some issues with it's going to be a real problem to have pressurized air to do some things. So, but it still looked really good, I think.
Oh yeah,
I'm not sure that people noticed.
It was definitely cool. Yeah, and speaking of the NPCs, we had an NPC in that room.
Yes.
It was the NPC from that room, so that was very cool. By the way, for chat, don't forget, if you want to take part in that drawing, click that link. And also, see, what are we already, 24 minutes? And I forgot the one thing you're supposed to do as a YouTuber. Do the liking and subscribing. Somebody in chat, you guys have to remind me to tell people that. So yes, if you haven't done that liking and subscribing yet, please do so. The last I checked, I think we were at 579, 569, 570, something like that. We got to get to 600, baby. So please, if you haven't done that, subscribe and do so now. And also, if you have any questions about Ring Con, True Dungeon, Jeff, etc., please say, type question and then whatever your question is, and I will try to get to that. Hacker Ed, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. All right, so next up was room number 2. Again, any questions, let us know.
Yeah. I should mention in room 1, I forgot to say that if you did use Dark Rift attacks on it, it did extra damage to the construct, since it was kind of good.
Oh, okay.
That would have helped if you had any kind of a rune or something, and that helped you do.
Cool. I can't remember if I do Dark Rift or not, but I'm sure it would have on there. Bernie says 579 confirmed. So I think Hacker Ed might have made us at 580. So thank you. Sean Smith says, was sad to miss this. What's up, Sean? I've been cursed. Yeah, man, I hear you. Sometimes the curses happen. You got to get the remove curse spell. But the next one, baby, you can start planning now. 2029. Convention to be named. All right, room 2, the Shrine of Saint Lorca. What can you tell us about this shrine?
Well, sure. Having proven yourself to the guardian spirit, you've put on a trail through an enchanted wood to visit 5 separate little shrines to collect 5 rings. Sound familiar?
Yep.
Then at the end, you got to make some lists. So this was kind of a cool little group problem solving type thing.
Yeah.
And and then we had some nice effects in there, and it was a really cool set to build. Expensive. Those wall panels they look really great, but they're kind of pricey, but it still was worth it. It looked really cool, and it was a nice thing to be able to, like, kind of their first thing to have like a 3D shrine that they can kind of walk around and interact with.
Oh yeah. Those walls were very sturdy. So the puzzle itself was each person had to, like, get a ring into that center section there, but on a string. So
if you happen to find the string, it was just sitting there kind of off to the side. It wasn't Like here, do it.
What
with
was the
this
other way to
string.
maybe toss it or something?
I have no idea. Telekinesis. I don't know.
So what we did, and what I assume most people did, is they kind of had two people at either end, and you just kind of like did like this and slid it down. So this was one of those great team effort things where everyone has to participate. So it was kind of like a classic nod to how the team puzzles work. And if the ring dropped on the floor, you took damage. It was really cool. It was a very cool thing to see when you first enter this room. So let's see, Scott. What's up, Scott? All right. So let's see what else is this. So the NPC was very cool in this room as well.
Yeah.
So shout out to her.
Oh, always does a good job.
Yeah, she always does a good job. Yeah. All right, so that was room 2. Again, if anyone has any questions about any of these rooms or about Ring Con, etc., just type the word question and then whatever your question is. All right, so next up we had room 3 for the Sacred Circle, and it was called Bog Fiend, and you can kind of see it over there. Very scary.
Yeah.
So tell us about this
room.
Yeah,
so now you've got your first ring. Congratulations. Now, unfortunately, you got to fight for the second one. And there was a kind of an interesting mechanic that Caitlin came up here there with. There was like this mire on the floor, this like mucky, thorny stuff. The thorns would grab you, and you were stuck in kind of mud. If you had freedom of movement, you weren't affected. Other than you would still take damage from the thorns, but yeah, it would hinder you in the combat for sure. And it did take, I believe it was less damage from blunt weapons, and it was immune to fire because it was so wet and mucky and gross.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I think we might have wasted a fireball figuring that out. You would think it's very fire-worthy, but it was wet.
Wet and mucky, yep.
No wonder.
And it's a fiend. What are you going to do?
Yeah, that was also a very cool room. I think almost every single room at Ring Con, as you entered, I think you were kind of hit with how cool the design was. I think especially in the next one that we're going to see, but I think in even this one, like the room before this with the rings and the little panels, when I walked in, I thought at first we were going to go inside there and do some type of combat or whatever. I don't know. It was just kind of very interesting. So I think the design work was quite excellent for this convention. So kudos to that. Is that you? Is that John? Is that what's the shy guy's name? Your other guy. He's always running around.
Troy?
Yeah, Troy. I knew it was T something. I was about to say Tyler. That's not it.
Yeah, I mean, it's all a group effort. I mean, I kind of figure out the basics and then say, hey guys, kind of make it look cool, please. And they do. So yeah. And honestly, this Ring Con was we only had 2 people that volunteered to help set it up. So we kind of going into it, we didn't have as much time as we had hoped we could to get it tweak it more than we could. But I think we did a great job with what the help we had to get it together. So
wow.
Yeah.
Did I hear you had 2 people volunteer to do the setup?
Yeah, install and yeah.
How about teardown?
We had everybody that volunteered like normal, like being a DM or an NPC. They all came in on Sunday for 3-4 hours and helped tear down. 4 hours.
Why do you think the number was so low? Because so many people just wanted to play?
Yeah, I mean that we had problems getting volunteers, honestly, for what we wanted to do. It was pretty tight. That's because so many people wanted to play, and I get it. I mean, it's once every 5 years at that point kind of event. So yeah, I can see why they would rather just
that looks like a problem to solve. I wonder if there's a way to like half play and half volunteer. That's the first thing that comes to mind. But of course, I don't know all the behind the scenes stuff. I'm sure you guys are thinking of ways. But you've got time to think about that for the next one. We have our first official question. Crazy CP has a question. Question: will we ever see the rare signet rings from our welcome bag, or are those lost to the transmute?
As far as I know, they're lost to the transmute. So we wanted to make them special for Ring Con, and yeah, we don't plan on putting them in treasure. Some might have. Sometimes the factory, when they stack them, they get them confused, and we've had some things get into treasure before that shouldn't be, and it must have happened at the factory. We can't look at every token. They come in stacks of 20, and sometimes they do mess them up when they stack them. So if you do get one, it was just a factory boo-boo, I think.
Yeah, I of course have to have one of everything, and once I saw what was happening, what I did is I chased down people who didn't like join a group and transmute theirs. So I was able to get a full set, but that is definitely a hard set to get. Much like the TrueCraft sets were really hard to get. You know, those turned in. Those are tough from 2012, I think.
Yep.
Steve Austin, did you see the beginning of the show, Steve Austin? He says hello. I don't think he was. All the volunteers were amazing, says Steve. They were all at the top of their game for this event. And then Ashton says, oh, you did. So you won. First place, buddy. Oh, I forgot to tell you. So SmackDown, Jeff, told me the 3 winners. And he goes, Jeff, you asked, made a guess as well. And I was like, oh, well, how did he do? And he said he checked, and he said that you, if you were doing it officially, would have come in like second. So you were also super, super close, but you don't count.
Yep.
You count as a human, but just not in that contest. So Ashton says those tokens have been put in the acid. So, I guess you're right. So those are all gone. Now, Bog Fiend, anything else about this very cool room? I didn't know that he was super wet. Maybe that's why that fireball didn't work.
That's about it. That was a interesting combat, I think, for sure.
Yeah, very cool.
So I think the Bard might have helped you out on that one. I don't remember now.
Well, Mongo's our Bard, so he's not very helpful. Alan,
the Bard lore was supposed to tell you that.
Okay, cool. Got it. Alan says, Room 4 had an amazing NPC, super high energy, and threw herself into the role. Hilariously, that's the next thing we're going to talk about.
Dun, dun, dun.
Room 4 was Chained Evil, probably one of my favorite rooms of the whole event. What can you tell us about Chained Evil, Room 4 of Sacred Circle?
Yeah, I don't know if I should mention her name because, people sometimes don't like it. So I'm trying not to mention NPCs because they may not want their name, but she did awesome. Yeah, I got so many compliments, and she really put herself into the role, threw herself around, and sustained a little bit of wear and tear on her knees and hands. She got some gloves there. That was great, and some knee pads. But yeah, it was amazing. It was great to see the enthusiasm, and people love the room.
Yeah, she did an incredible job. I think I went through this twice, and she was at the top both times. So
I guess we should tell the people didn't go. Basically, when you came in, you saw this demon chained to this like iron table. The ends of the chains were attached, and basically, of course, she comes alive, and basically the chains break free, and she uses them to attack you. So, and then she also had like an allure. She could, it's kind of like a charm. Basically, she could just make somebody make a will save, or they're charmed for that combat. So,
yeah, and she was like doing her wailing at the top of her lungs. So I mean, she must have acting experience because she definitely saved her voice. Either that, or she's just a natural. So she did really a wonderful vocal job.
And then the monster had magic resistance too, and then also if you had to use fire against her, which would have been worse than the Bog Fiend because it actually healed
Yeah, I think we were told that she seems to be healing, so we figured something out was going on. Yeah, no, I thought she did a really great job, and it was a wonderful, frenetic and physical room. There was kind of a raised platform, and then there's a combat board, so it was a wonderful, energetic room. And Garrett Bray says her acting was awesome. Valerian thinks she may have strained her voice. Ashton says, and a little hair damage. She was great. Belinda says, the NPC really committed to the role. Excellent performance. I agree. And Eric says, she totally chewed up the scenery. She was great. And Tracker Hoge 1281 says, I'm surprised she could keep the wailing up all weekend. Yeah, me too. And David, is that a new avatar name there? I totally wanted to heal her with fire, but my party killed her too fast. That's my silly wizard. So yeah, that was an awesome room. Another incredible room, these are all great rooms, was room 5 called the Imp Swarm. What can you tell us about room 5 here?
Well, this was some interesting effects we wanted to try. It was kind of we were trying to see how well it would work to get them to appear. We probably, after we saw it and it was too late to really fix it, we probably should have killed the lights in the alcove afterwards. But we live and learn. Next time we use this kind of effect, we'll learn it. But yeah, basically when you came in the room, you just saw these alcoves with these tapestries hanging on the wall, and then they come to life and attack in the swarm. They had group hit points, I think, and let's see. Yeah, they basically, if you can see the alcoves are numbered, like that one's number 2. Right. You had to pick which one. The other 2 of the images were fake, and then one of them was a mirror image, and then one was the real. So you had to pick, and I just thought it'd be kind of fun. And it's kind of strategy. Do we divide up, or do we all just pick one and try to wail on it? Maybe we'll get lucky. Mm-hmm. So.
But there were a few tokens that allowed you, or a few ways that you could see this. So I, of course, build my wife's build, and so she kind of gets like the next level tokens down, like the relic of whatever legendary I might have. Right. And I put the Eye of Osiris on her, which is a super cool token, but I don't need it that often, so I didn't have it. And I was like, honey, I bet you could see them. And we checked, and she could, so she could hit them every time, which was really cool. Nice. It's a great use of that token. But yeah, I like these ones where you either roll, the DM rolls and then attacks that number, or you yourself go to choose a number. So it kind of adds another layer of physical interaction to those rooms. And the graphics were just super cool. Here's a couple more photos of these graphics. And Drake even sent over this little video loop. So check this out. Actually, I think this is from Alan. My apologies.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, Alan took this. Yeah, and then here's another one. I've got some other videos from Drake. So here's another one. Very cool graphics. Yeah, I like it. Brian says fireball, fireball, fireball. So the next room, anything else about this room? Room 5?
Nope. Yeah, it was fun to try out a new effect. We'd never done this kind of thing really like that exactly. And yeah, I learned some stuff. We do it again, I'll be able to probably do it a little better. But my part, I can do better. The graphics were awesome. So.
Okay, awesome, cool. Well, yeah, no matter what, no matter how good you are, you can always get a little better. Room 6 was the Eldritch Knight. Again, anybody in chat who has any questions, just type the word question, type and then question. And don't forget to click that pinned link if you want to enter the drawing at the end. Oh, and like and subscribe. So what can you tell us about Room 6, the Eldritch Knight?
Well, this was a similar effect here. Instead of a back projection, it was a front projection. I thought it would be cool to see if we could have it so like magical effects were appearing right before the NPC. So the NPC could like actually draw these. Draw the runes right in front of you in the air. It was like kind of a cool effect. Yeah, and then they had a couple of different runes they could throw out there. There was like a dread thing and rage, and there was different saving throws for whatever. There was a lightning one and
Yep.
greed, and they could also do like a wall of fire, I believe. Pretty sure, yeah. And yeah, it was interesting. The NPC did a great job of trying to mimic the things that were being projected in front of them. So
Yeah.
we learned a lot. We may use this effect again in future years.
Yeah, I think it's after a couple of times the person doing it can kind of follow, gets the gist of the runes. So
Yep.
that was definitely a cool effect. So kudos to the design there. All right, so that was room 6, and then we get to the big dog, room 7. Before that, Technocode says, I like the combo of a real-life NPC and visual effects. I agree that was really cool. And remember, in the Sacred Circle, the whole way, we're basically building this ring, right? We're kind of mimicking what we had been doing over the number of years, collecting one ring a year to go here, and this was where we ended up.
Yep.
So what can you tell us
so
about
you
this
just
room?
had to basically transmute this puzzle, transmute the rings. So I thought, well, since most of the people that are going to be playing this adventure are token collectors, it'd be fun to finally do something that was like designed specifically for them. So I'm hoping they had a good chuckle out of this, and when they got it, they kind of had a nice little laugh and had some fun using their knowledge.
Right. So these are the rings we're making here, presumably, and this was definitely a puzzle. Snake Eyes says room 6 effect. That could be a great way for wizards to battle. And Falarian says we are kicking ourselves. It took us so long to realize it was a transmute. So I like to say this periodically, like once a year. I get to say this. I'm not the smart one in our group. No surprise there. Tracker Hoj 1281 says the last room was beautiful. I agree. Super beautiful room. I can contribute once a year to my group when it comes to puzzles, and it's usually something to do with tokens. So this is the imagery that was happening. So again, let me go back to this first one. So at first you just think that these are just super cool designs, these little windows here, and they are, but every so often this little thing would happen to each of them, and at first, maybe you think, oh, I guess this is a puzzle, but as soon as I saw that red sword, so I'm going to hit play again here, as soon as I saw that red sword, I thought, wait a minute, is that what I think it is? Let me do it one more time. And I was like, I think that's aragonite. I think these are trade goods. So I was able to contribute, but I think someone else in my group figured out like the same time. So those were trade goods. So what you had to do is you had to figure out where to start, to place the rings. And this is the answer here. But here's all of the answers together there. The number one, of course, was Alchemist Inc. And you could just
they were in
see...
alphabetical order. That was the order.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch that. See, again, not smart. I just caught the tokens. And then Alchemist Parchment, Aragonite, Darkwood Plank, Dwarven Steel, and so on and so on. So you can see the different things. The red sword really sold it to me because I just noticed that for some reason. So for anybody who didn't finish this puzzle in time or didn't figure it out at all, there you go. So here's a reveal. I suspect not everybody got this because it happened pretty quick. Then again, maybe the Dungeon Master helped. Okay, so let's see. Let me check with chat. Room 7, let's see. Snake Eyes, final room graphics were stellar. Can't wait to see where this goes in the future. Yep, I agree. Belinda says room 7 took us longer than it should have to figure it out, but I was like, it's a green mace. That's Elvin Bismuth. Correct. Brian says, give yourself credit for figuring it out, Trent. Okay, I'll take a little credit. Once a year. Ashley says, we got it, but I seem to be the only one that transmuted enough to get it. So yeah, if you're the only one in your group who does the transmuting, you might be kind of screwed here. And once you placed everything, then you had to put the numbers in the right spot, which is what this looked like. And then there was a super cool effect. So watch this, everybody.
They're being transmuted. Yay, you got your rings.
They're being transmuted. Success. Yeah, super, super cool. That was such a great effect. And I think it really topped off the number of years working toward it. So I think you outdid yourself here with the design, the NPCs, the colorfulness, the graphics, the physical nature of the rings. I mean, it was just a home run and a half. So kudos to everybody. Good job.
Thanks. We were just trying to make something that would, people would have a nice memory of and a nice little keepsake to kind of tie all 5 years up, even chasing those things. So glad it worked.
So now, here's a problem, though. When you do something this good, you've got to get better, right? You always got to improve. So, but you have 3 years. 27, 28, and 29. So back in Marion, Illinois, for name to be determined. So let's see it. Let's take it up a notch, baby.
Do it.
Let me check with chat here. Cover Steven Badger, love the name. People I chatted with noted this event was really the only feasible place to have this puzzle, and it was cool to see this puzzle so deep in the lore. Well said.
Yep. Agreed.
Well said.
Perfectly said. Yep.
Now, for the, I guess the way you look at it, you probably would call this group of people patrons, right? For the patrons who made the Mark of Enlightenment, they were, right? They were able to do the Sacred Path. Is that? Am I correctly saying it how you would say it?
Yeah. If we're segueing to the Sacred Path, yep, that's what we're talking about. There you go.
Right. Cool. So tell us about the Sacred Path.
Well, this is, again, a similar idea. I was trying to kind of give you a adventure based on basically acquiring your Mark of Enlightenment. So, and I got to give it to everybody at the end, at the end of the adventure. So that was really cool to thank them. But again, it's very similar to the other one where you had to basically take the map fragments and figure out a way, travel all these different planes to finally get to the little demi-plane of enlightenment and go face the saints and get your mark. So hopefully it's a nice little keepsake memory that you can use you'll remember all your collecting.
Right. And this is the first token, if I'm not mistaken, where everyone had a chance to put whatever name they wanted on a token. Is that right?
Correct. Yep.
Wow. Now,
and thank Lori Martin for helping me not screw any of them up. That's pretty amazing. We had 0 screw up rate, so that's all Lori.
Oh, you mean all the names were correct? No one said, "Oh, you put the letter in the wrong spot" or whatever.
Correct. Yep.
Wow, that's definitely going to be thanks to Lori. Well, kudos, Lori. Yep. Now, is it too early to ask? Are we doing something similar? Oh, wait, we already know what we're doing. It's not going to be like a crafted by on the next one. You already kind of laid out what the next tokens are.
Yeah, if I was smart, I'd had that graphic to you. But it's on the website. Just go to the...
That's all right. That'd be a future show. We can't say everything in every show. But let's go to room 1. Super cool, because this room looks familiar to us, where we just left this room thematically, and now we're back to this room. This is room 1 of the Sacred Path. So for everyone who didn't go on the Sacred Path, pay attention. Here is the Sacred Path, room 1. Take it away, Jeff. What was going on in this room?
Yeah, I thought it'd be really neat. I've always wanted to do it where basically one adventure takes place right after the next one, I mean, in the same room. So, and since we ran these at different times, there was finally a chance I would get to do it. And so we basically came up with a different puzzle for this room that you had to solve to open the gateway to try to travel through the various planes to get to enlightenment. So, and the funny part was we got to leave the marks that they use in the previous puzzle in the middle of the table. So it's like you just,
Right.
it's supposed to be like, well, you just got your rings. Okay, now you get to do this. So I thought it was really cool that it was like 3 seconds later you start your other adventure. So.
Yeah, I actually thought it was a mistake. I was like, oh, are we in the wrong room? You know, that's the first thing I thought, because I think it was the same NPC as well.
Right. Yeah. We did some careful maneuvering to make sure that it was the same person. So.
Yeah, it was a really great touch. So hopefully everybody can partake in the next one in 2029, because you know, if it's even close to this, it's going to be amazing. Now, once again, you can see those little window panes, so you had to kind of pay attention to those guys. So check out this little video clip here.
Yeah, the deal was here that basically you had to work as a team to help everybody remember what they saw and talk to each other what you saw and try to figure out what the stained glass was telling you.
Right.
And
let me play that again. It's kind of
basically
short.
you had to figure out the order that everything got placed in.
Right. There's a key, there's a book, there's a chalice, there's a bell. So yeah, and here is, speaking of the key, so here we have a lantern, but this is what I think was even an extra layer of difficulty. So there's two lanterns, but there's two keys. There's also a book, and there's another book, but there's a crown, and there's another bell. So you really had to kind of do some thinking here. So that was the half of them, and here's the other half. So this was coin, feather, chalice, dagger, and orb, and then you had to put them all in the right order here. So this was not an easy puzzle. I can't remember. Maybe Dave in the group could, in a group chat. I'm not sure if we solved this one fast enough. Can't remember. I feel like we didn't, but Dave will remember. But if you did do it correctly, it looks something like this. And then here's a closer up view of it. So that was a super cool room.
Yep. See there, you're opening a gate. There's the little path.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if I noticed that before. Yeah, I see. Cool. So that's room 1. And let me check in with chat here. Again, do that liking and subscribing. Yeah, Dave also agrees that I think we ran out of time. I think we were maybe figuring it out, but we figured it out too slow. And let me check in with chat here. Let's see. Alan says, using the TVs and arches made the graphics in the overall room look amazing. Loved it. And Falarian reminds me that it's a pet follower that we'll be working on. And Cover Steel and Badger says, as someone who has spent the majority of their career in tech publications, 0 typos on the name tokens is amazing. I agree. Excellent work.
Lori Martin.
Yeah, Lori Martin. Thank you, Lori Martin. So after room 1, you guessed it, we go to room 2, and that one was called Tree Ant Trouble. Tell us about Tree Ant Trouble, room 2.
All right. Well, now that you're on your path, you've got to go through series. Of course, you got to collect more things, and you're basically going through these planes of existence. The first one is like kind of a nature themed one, and you run into this tree. What we did for this adventure, which is hard to see. I wish we had a good video of it. But basically, the room had 3 large, big screens that made a panoramic view of everything. You'll kind of maybe see it later. We don't really have good video of this room, but yeah, basically the monsters would come and attack you. But it was because, again, of the limited amount of space and time we had to get stuff set up, this seemed like the best way to make a good quality combat room. was to go with like this video type thing. So I hope it was fun and interesting for the folks to play this kind of a different type of room. We've learned a lot of stuff. We had more time. We would have had more time to like theme the rooms better within the foreground. Foreground's important. We did some, but I wish we had had more time and more space on the trucks to grab more things to decorate the rooms a little more. But they did a good job of what they had.
Yeah, this adventure, I'm positive that everybody loved it. It was very pleasing to the eye, and it also felt like massive, like you were really on, this very big quest, and you were fighting these big challenges. And we don't have a video loop or any graphics or pictures to kind of give you the scale for this room, but we do on a couple of rooms that are coming up. So you're about to see that.
Yeah, and notice the little obelisk in the background there. There's an obelisk. That's what you're basically following, those obelisks through the way. They're like waypoints through all the different planes.
That's cool. So yeah, for the people with the eyeballs and who catch things, I'm sure that was nice little eye candy to them. Awkward Moon.
Yeah, and this room was just basically, he was just the treant would smash a couple of people. I think he was immune to. He took extra point of damage on fire, and yeah, it was kind of a straight up fight, I think. Pretty much.
Yeah, room 2. Awkward Moon says similar to the ship last Gen Con. The 3 screens, they were a little tighter on the ship, kind of on purpose. But there was a lot of foreground work and immersion. There wasn't a ton of that here, but the screens were there to really kind of blow you away. And that's what Jeff, I think, is saying, is he wish he has more time to do more decorating in the room. But now you know for next time, right?
Yep.
So speaking of perfect way to show you how incredible one of these fights were, let's go to room 3 called Titan Trouble. So we were going against in each of these rooms, against these godlike creatures. Check this out.
Yeah, you got to imagine there's 3 screens. There's 2 on each side of you besides this one.
Yeah. And they were massive screens too. Massive screens. So here you felt like how small you were compared to these giant things.
Yeah, since you're in Olympus, I thought it'd be cool to fight a real Titan, something that's never happened. We can't usually do these kinds of monsters in non-digital format. So this was a chance to get some crazy monsters that are hard to do with animatronics or costumes. So definitely this guy, he was pretty mean, had a big sword that it was like an AoE attack, really. He would just swing and check your AC and hit everybody. He could summon lightning. And I think he was immune to shock because he could summon lightning. So
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was kind of far away, so you had to use ranged pretty much to attack him as well. So lots of challenges.
Yeah. Dave says this room was absolutely incredible. I agree. This room blew me away. And Brian says, question, is the Titan still falling?
Yes, still falling.
Yes.
If you ever hear a thud, you'll know.
Yeah, I when I saw that graphic, I thought I'm not going to be able to hit this guy. So, and also I'm not going to run up against that guy. So I'm standing behind the wizard. But to give you an idea of the scale, check this out. So,
big dude.
It was super, super, super cool. So yeah, that was room 3, Titan Trouble, and then we go to another incredible room, room 4 of the Sacred Path, the Beholder Battle, one of my favorite monsters.
You're in astral space on a little planetoid or rock, piece of rock, and he comes floating up and attacks. The reveal is really cool because it floats up from underneath the rock, and looks neat.
Yeah, I don't have that loop, but I do have a video loop of his attack, so check these out.
That was the anti-magic ray and then some other attacks.
Yeah. Pew, 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 pew. That's why I hide behind the wizard. Works every time. So.
Yeah, it was pretty mean. The worst one was if you rolled a natural 20, you had to make a reflex save. If you missed, you basically got bit in half and swallowed. So you instant death. So you did get a save.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it was pretty mean. I don't know if it actually happened. I never heard, but
yeah, I didn't see that. So wow, that's crazy. I don't know. I don't think I have an image of his board, but the 20 was probably hard to hit.
Yeah.
All right. So Basic Braining says I'm late, but I'm here. Yep, you can watch the beginning. Eric says serious FOMO for this room. Yeah, this room and the Titan room and the room we're about to see, they were just all amazing. Bill says, wow, that lightning strike was close. We lost the network and a power blip. Oh wait, that's not about this. Okay. Kuzik says, I really didn't see that coming. And Dave says, once again, my mean party killed him too fast and we didn't see many of the effects. So sorry. Yeah. Well, we didn't do Mythic. We only did Epic, probably. That's why.
Sure.
And Brian played a Troubadour, and it said being a Troubadour here helped a lot. So that's awesome. It's a good use of your once or twice a year. Brian says turning off the magic items was mean. Yeah. That was another effect he could do, right?
Yeah, basically 4 people at a time couldn't use their magic, so it was the anti-magic rotated. But yeah.
Alex has a question. Did the majority of Sacred Path groups run Hardcore, Nightmare, or Epic? Is that something you would know?
No, I should, but I don't. I should have looked at the party cards to see, but I didn't. It's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question. I think my group played Epic every time, whatever we were doing, if it was available. All right, so yeah, Valerian guesses Nightmare and Epic. I would concur with that. But some people, they like to kind of just stick with Hardcore, which is totally cool. All right, so room 5, Devil Debacle. So here's a better view of kind of the 3-way angle here. And it's put to good use, and it's also part of the story. What can you tell us about room 5?
Well, basically you had to go up against the 3 sisters here. There was this is supposed to be like a hellscape type situation, so they could attack with like flaming fist and punch. They had they could summon like a lava eruption for AoE, I believe, and then it was not a nice place. So your like healing spells didn't work so well. But they had like basically a hit point pool, so you had to kill them all at one time. But it was good because then there's some benefits to that as well. And of course, since they were, I think they took extra damage from cold.
Yeah, very cool room. And I do have a video loop here of the very, very cool fight features here. So check this out. Pew, pew, pew. Ow, my brain.
Here's I think this is the lava eruption.
Yeah.
The sound effects, you can't quite get them on this, but it had a nice bass to it.
Yeah, so that was a really cool video, and that was a tough fight. So I really like that. Let's see. Brian says we played Epic because of how well we're geared. Yep, pretty sure a lot of people did that. Valerian says if you're investing into something like the Patron Transmute, you're probably past Hardcore. Yep. Steve Austin has a question. Can we expect more slide boards that change the hit locations? Not knowing where the crit spot is was a great twist to the combat. Don't remember the exact room. We're going to see that soon, my friend.
Yep.
And that's a great question, but you could answer that now or then, if it's up to you, Jeff.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do that. And I remember 10 years ago when they were talking about using TVs. The Master Ed made a really cool
Yeah,
slider with the
Master Ed. I
TV
remember
thing.
that. He did a little test
Yeah,
of
and
it. Yeah.
that was definitely something I wanted to do, but I felt it was something that we needed to kind of maybe wait and do when you have like the true believers that would get into it. As somebody that's maybe new may not enjoy that as much, but I don't know. We'll probably do it again sometime, depending on the monster. But yeah, I like the projection combat boards. There's a lot of different things you could do with those, um, different effects, different things that we're exploring. So you'll
Yeah.
see some. We're not gonna overdo it, of course, but yeah, you should see it in the next handful of years. You'll see various little different ideas that you could do with a projected board.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, maybe normal, not because they were
Yeah,
probably not that ready for that kind of stuff. But for sure, the high level stuff, smack us around, move it. It was great. I forgot if it was one of my groups. I think. Well, actually, I only did this one once, so it must have been the one run I did. I think someone like went for the foot, and I think they missed, but the crit was on the foot. They're like, I knew it was going to be on the foot. I thought that was really cool to kind of like
yeah,
he was guessing, and he guessed right. So I thought that
yeah. I
was
was hoping the parties, once they figured that out, would be like spreading it out. Um, trying to anyway. I know it's kind of hard, but
yeah.
yeah, I just thought it'd make for a fun group dynamic where they're setting their strategy for each round on where to slide.
Yeah, I thought it was super cool, but also the a way that you can literally do anything with the projection. I mean, it could even be move. I mean, there's just only your
Yeah.
imagination is the only thing limiting you when it comes to a projected thing. But we're about to see that room in a second. But let me check back with the questions here. Bill asks, it would be nice if you did another round of this so that others coming up can also get a mark, maybe at the next 3 or 4 year run. So that was not a question, but
Interesting. Yep.
sharing a thought. And 1 2 free for all says, how about this? A board where there are symbols and there's a puzzle to figure out which one is 20. Another suggestion to
Go.
you. All
I
right.
like it.
Moving on to room 6. And this
All right.
room is called Helm, as in a hat, the thing, it. Helm it. Please explain what the heck
Yes.
that means, and also
All
this
right.
room.
Well, this is actually the helm of the ship. So
Oh
they've
my God.
they've made it through the 4 planes. They've recovered their fragments. They now they have to basically, now that they've got a map, they're gonna they're at an astral ship and they're gonna use these fragments to take them to enlightenment. Unfortunately, the ship has got a slight little problem, as they often do, needing your help. And basically, you have to help the navigation system put the correct plane order in the system so that you can actually get to enlightenment. So some of it depended on your memory, like, well, which one was that one? Which one was the four of these were planes that you went to that you can remember, but that's and then the rest was just you got a quick message of this is what the path is. I don't know what all these are. Maybe you do. Here you go, and then basically work together as a team to kind of figure out. And there's the obelisks that you'd seen earlier in the back of every plane that you visited.
Right. This, you definitely had to work together. And if you look top middle there of the image we're looking at now, everyone, that was a screen. And now I'm going to show you a loop of the images that flashed on that screen. So here, check this out. And these go by quick, too.
Clockwork, darker, cold. They're really quick.
Yeah, they go super quick. Let's watch that again, boys and girls. So you need all that information in order to solve where these bad boys go. So again,
Yes.
thankfully my group is smart and they can always figure out puzzles. I'm pretty sure we figured this one out.
And there was a little bit of lore in there. We the Bliss made a comeback from the old days.
Yep.
If you remember that from our first Norse themed year. And
2018, I think. That was awesome.
Yeah, and that was the Astral background from the Astral Adventures we did way back in the day. Like, I don't remember, 11 years ago, whatever it was. So yeah, there was some deep lore in this, so to speak. So if you're an old-time fan, you would have had a little bit of a leg up.
And here is the answer to that puzzle, if you did that there, for those of you who might have missed it. And Alan has a comment about that board we were talking about with the projection board. It would be amazing to have a crit animation on the board. Steve says, love this puzzle. We had to work as a group to remember it all. Exactamundo. And the Garrett Bray says, whoever maintains these ships should be ashamed of themselves. Every ship I've been on needs some assistance.
They do. But that's why they have to have, people like Ella on board at all times to keep them running. So.
I know. I was thinking Ella should have been there, but Ella wasn't there. Or was this a version of Ella?
Ella couldn't make it. So
unfortunately,
we really wanted her to be there, but no.
That would have been kind of a funny nod for people who, every boat she has needs help.
Yep. But we had a great NPC in there.
Exactly,
so.
And Kuzik is asking that question. What was the captain's name for this puzzle? I don't think they had one. The NPC, do you have a name for the NPC? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I think it was Sheldon. No, that was the Herald.
That's the next one.
Yeah. No, I don't remember.
Okay.
Sorry.
Maybe somebody in chat might remember. The Goblin says Awkward Moon. Goblins are breaking all these ships. Dave says, I think our solution involved some guessing, and I was stoned we solved it in the first time. Yes, we definitely guessed. I think we got like 8 of them, and then like the last couple, I think we just, it's got to be whatever. Brian says the order changed every time. What? Awkward Moon says you need to hire dwarves. All right, so we are about to hit our last room, so maybe this is a good chance for me to remind everybody doing that liking and subscribing. It really helps me spread the love of True Dungeon. Also, if you want to partake in the drawing, click the pinned link there. You need to be present during the drawing in order to win. I'll draw the winners, and then in chat you need to say, hey, that's me, and that's how that happens. Let's dive into the final room of the Sacred Path, called Herald of the Saints. What can you tell us about this room? Super cool NPC.
Well, you've made it to enlightenment now, and it's time to basically prove yourself to get your mark. So we had this cool NPC, and this is where we had basically the numbers disappeared. You had to slide. You didn't know exactly where you were supposed to slide. It was supposed to kind of
right here. There's a picture
like
of
an entropy field. Yeah. So basically, the numbers would disappear.
Mm-hmm.
They could do Holy Word, which caused basically they had to make a save, or they would take damage, sacred damage. They had a nasty sword. So yeah, and I guess basically they would take extra damage from Dark Rift, of course, but they just they had good damage resistance. So
yeah, this was a very cool NPC. I love the design, and it felt like it was worthy of all of this work that we have done to get to this point. It was a worthy foe. And the NPC was trying to figure out if we were worthy to continue. So the Kuzik says the inadvertent jump scare in this room almost made one person crap themselves. This is a family show. Jordan says, "Oh wow, that thing is scary." Yeah, that's what Kuzik was just saying. Yeah, this was a super scary NPC, a very, very, very cool NPC. And like Steve Alston mentioned, and Jeff was just saying, you see the numbers there. So this is a frozen in time image. When we slid, there were no numbers. You were just sliding, and and I think most people were like, okay, well, let's go toward the head region because that's probably where the crit is, and we were right. But then the numbers go away, and you slid again, And wherever you slid before and saw 20 or 17 or 18 or 14, that's not where they were the next time. So that's what Steve was talking about. And other people in chat were talking about maybe, doing something similar in the future. So that was a really cool effect. Also worthy of kind of like a final boss for this super final, big battle. Anything else about Sheraldon, who was the Herald of the Saints?
Sure. No, it was a fun room. We'll definitely have some more combat, digital combat effects. We're not going to try to overdo it, but you'll see probably one next year somewhere.
Cool. And Kuzik is reminding me here, when you walk into this room, there was an alcove on the left, and you couldn't see the NPC when you walked in. They stayed very still until a minute or two in, and boom, they came out. And Kuzik says, wasn't there an effect that the highest hit came back at you? Does that sound familiar? Is that part of the module?
That might be. Yeah.
I've seen that in VTD. I don't remember that in this one, though. So.
Yeah, basically, whoever did the most damage got that hit back on them. Yeah, I forgot.
Oh, so it was in there. Oh, okay. Kuzik remembered correctly. Yeah.
Yep, always does.
Kuzik says Belinda hit herself for 200 damage, so she must have been raging and also fury. Man, I don't remember that happening. So that means I must not have done the biggest damage. That was probably Dave, or maybe Mongo.
Yep.
So that's hilarious. And Belinda says, "Yeah, I died a lot in this room." Yeah. And Eric says, excited for this digital combat. So you've got some fans here of this interactiveness. All right, so we're going to be closing up the commentary of these riddle revealing here. So if you have any final questions for Jeff, please let us know now. And that was the riddle reveal for the Sacred Path and the Sacred Circle. We talked about True Grind a little bit. Now, you'll notice that I don't think we have enough time to talk about the Silver Ship passages. So what I plan to do is, since there were a lot of cool tokens happening at Ring Con and also the Silver Ship passages, I'm going to make a separate video and talk about all of those things. But our goal here was mainly to discuss True Grind a little bit, give them some love, and thank them for an amazing job, and do a riddle reveal of the Sacred Path and the Sacred Circle.
Yeah. We forgot to talk about the swag, though. I was going to talk about that. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, lay it on me. What do you want to say about the swag?
Yeah, I hope everybody liked the surprise stuff we put in the swag. There was some
it's not close,
stuff.
So.
Yeah, especially the ring. I wasn't sure if people are going to like that or not, so I was hoping it would be a way. So basically, if you didn't come, there was a random 10 rare rings you could get based on a saint signets. It's out of focus here. There you go. Yeah, and then if you there was 10 of them, so you had to find 9 other people that had different rare rings signets, and you had to go find this place to do a ceremony. And if you did that, then you could trade it in to get the Ring of the 10 Saints. So I just thought it'd be a cool way to encourage people to get together, meet new people. And it was great to see people excited about trying to form a group and doing all that. So I think it worked well, hopefully. And then if you thought, it's not really something I want to do, you've got plenty of people that would be wanting to take your...
exactly. And I did buy some of those because I needed one of each for the collection. So I was lucky because I brought my wife as well. So I started out with 2 right away. And oddly enough, they were both the same, of course. So I had to trade. But right away, I had 2 of 10, and I was able to get the others. So...
And then one last thing, I would just like to, I'm not going to be there to talk about the Silver Ship stuff, but I would like to thank Brandon Mace for running that all weekend long.
That's right. Thank you, Brandon.
It was and I want to apologize for the long wait that first day. We were just short-staffed and short-spaced, and I should have designed that better. But thanks for your patience on that, and we did get it kind of ironed out somewhat on Saturday. So hopefully everybody got in there, got their chance to try out the little carnival type games.
Yeah. the video that I'm going to make, I'm going to pre-record it. I'm not going to do it live. I'm going to talk because there's a bunch of tokens related to Ring Con. So and
Sure.
I'll mention the silver ship stuff. Alan took some great photos of that and also of the ring ceremony. So I'm going to do like a separate little mini show or little video of that, almost kind of like an unboxing / Ring Con token show or video. Let me check in with chat here. Hope everyone had fun at Ring Con. The pouch is sick. Yeah, I was about to grab it, but it's too far away. It's over there. I'll show that in the show that the little video I'm gonna do.
I'm hoping everybody gets a chance to use the pouches for years. We did the lanyards. Hopefully they can use those. I'm not sure that's going to work too well. I didn't realize the mechanism was going to be that difficult to open and close. The idea was that you could reuse it at cons to hold your character sheet, your character card, because it's got 2 hooks on it. I don't know. We'll see if that works. Maybe you can just put a C clamp type thing on the end of what we gave you, and then you'd be able to clamp it in easy to your character card. But anyway, I was trying to get something that would be a keepsake that you could use.
Okay, I'll try to remember to mention that. I didn't realize that was the intent there. I'll try to remember to mention that when I talk about all the tokens. Tracker Hoj 1281 says the little bag is really nice. Kuzik says the relic ring was the reward. So what the hell was the Ring of the 10 Saints then? Wasn't that the what is this one then? See, that's why I got to do the show. I can't remember what that one was for. Steve Austin says, shout out to John, CP, and all the people behind the dungeon that don't get a lot of recognition. Thanks for all you do. Bill says, ditto.
Yes.
Eric says, seriously, swag that works in-game to help manage tokens is awesome. And Kuzik says, signet of the 10 Saints that make you saintly. Bill says the silver ship was fun. Alan says Brandon did a great job. Eric says Mace is the man. I agree. Chris says every year is a learning year. That is one of the things I love about this group. And let's see, you can always add a new clip. Any future transmute with the rings. Yeah, one of the relic ring, it says like blah 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 transmuted. I haven't seen anybody respond to that. Was that a typo or future plans, or is that something you want to share now or later?
Which ring?
The the relic. I don't have it close. If I'm not mistaken, the relic that we got at Ring Con has a blah 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 / transmuted link as part of the token. It's on the image.
Yeah, I think it was just put on there because it was going to be it was transmuted kind of.
So it's it was the opposite. So it's not going to be used for something. You transmuted to make it.
Yeah.
So that goes against precedence, but so I think that confused some people. And let's see. Ashton says, I've been using that pouch, taking it to events, and using TD tokens for trinket trading at Ren fairs and the like. Awesome. Valerian says, I thought the Ring of Ion was the one that might have been part of a future transmute. And Kusuk reminds me that this was a participation token. Sorry, so this is not the one you make. The relic is the one you make. See, that's why I got to do that show. And Brian says, I'm looking forward to playing my saintly half-dragon vampire spawn at Gen Con.
Nice.
Okay, speaking of Gen Con, that's going to be the last thing that we're going to chat about. Tickets are on sale now. Gen Con is the next big True Dungeon event, July 30th through August 2nd. Go to gencon.com, and there are 4 adventures that you can play there. Fang and Fury, Monster Unbound, Haunted Manor, Castle Cravenmore. 3 of these are new for Gen Con, and Fang and Fury, we did see that at the Ring Con. So yeah, anything you want to, last little bit of info you want to share about Gen Con?
It should be fun. I just got the first pass of the map done this afternoon and sent off to Staples to get printed so we can look at it on Monday. Things are cruising along. It's always a rush, and Ring Con's made things even crazier. We spent a lot of time on that one, but it was well worth it, I think. But yeah, it should be fun. I really like this setting, and I hope you guys like what we put together. I think they each have a nice little kind of feel to them, and really great rooms, I think. And yeah, should be a great weekend.
Yeah, I think it's going to be super, super cool. Let's see. Let me go to this screen here. All right. So last chance for any questions. While we're doing last chance for questions, since we are not, you and I are not going to do a show between now and Gen Con, I think we can tell people that our next show is going to be a riddle reveal after Gen Con. We are planning, unless we have some scheduling issues, to do that on August 8th. The week after. Yeah, the 1 week after the Gen Con, we're going to do a riddle reveal of the Gen Con modules that aren't going to be at GameholeCon. And speaking of Gen Con, there's going to be something else that's new for Gen Con that has been at other conventions. Can we tell them what that is, especially since we're not going to do another show between now and then?
Yeah, I can tell them, I guess.
Or I can tell them. It's up to you.
Well, yeah. So we'll see how it works. There'll be a dedicated space. You know how we've had that little space at the entrance? We got a little bit more. We found a little bit more space. It'll be, I don't know, 2-3 times larger, kind of like where Transmuting was before. We're gonna have a better lit, I believe. That's the plan. A little space called Trent's Lounge, I think it's called.
What? Has Trent's Lounge finally worked out a deal with True Dungeon to appear at Gen Con? That's right. You heard it first.
Here. That's right.
You worked out it. I thought I just called you and told you that.
Well, that was the deal. You called me and surprised me and said, thank you for all that you do. And you know I have Trent's Lounge at every other convention. And I've been trying to convince Gen Con to let me do it, but they just didn't, I don't know, I couldn't convince them to let me do it. So we're doing it inside the double door area. So as you enter, you used to go to the left, but now you go a little bit to the right and you'll see it. So Trent's Lounge will be at Gen Con.
Yay.
Yay! Sean says, who's a guest actually before we got there? Sean wants to know, will it have a bar? It's not the tavern. That's a future thing I'd love to have. Awesome, love Trent's Lounge space. I agree, crazy. Huzzah, says Belinda. Scott says, Jeff, any second thoughts to do in-person transmitting, I think he means transmuting, at Gen Con?
Yeah, we're going to try it without it this year. Just talking to the TD staff here, we felt that they really want to be involved in the adventures instead of transmuting as much as they have to do. So we're trying it this year to see. We think we can really make a positive impact on how the adventures, how good they are, like right off the bat, and have just another set of eyes or two on the adventures. So, yeah, and so we're thinking it's going to really help with the quality, especially at the beginning on Thursday morning, to have John and his crew actually actively trying to make the adventures really good if possible. So, and then there's also just a huge logistical feat that has to happen every year when we do transmuting at a faraway place. Just security issues and a lot of things that we have to worry about, that not doing them at Gen Con takes that all away and makes things a lot easier and a lot less stressful, because that's always a worry that you have to worry about. So I'm excited that basically we got a lot of smart people that do transmuting usually will be inside the event space trying to make the event as good as it can be. So I think that's a win. I think in the long run for everybody. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Let's see. So, let's see. Scott says, boo. Alan says, is Trent's Lounge now an official Storyscape location? So Storyscape is not going to be there anymore. It's going to be Trent's Lounge will replace it, basically. Chris Canary says, has the tavern finally returned in some form? I guess as best as the lounge can be a tavern. But that tavern, I've heard stories. Sean in chat told me all about it. That'd be cool to do one day. We'll see. Snake Eye says, oh yeah, Trent's Lounge is the bomb. Trent's Tavern and Transmutes win. There are, big tokeners like myself and SmackDown and other people who do transmute-oriented things. So maybe reach out. I don't think I can do it because I fly. But if I convince my wife to move to the Midwest, maybe I'll be driving and I could help then. I'm building that bar. It's on my bucket list, says Sean. Garrett Bray says, Trent's Tavern now featuring Critical Hit Soda bar coming soon. Yes! Will it have pizza, says Awkward Moon. No, I cannot do that at Gen Con. It's just too busy. I would love to. But, maybe something one day, we'll see. AA Magic 2 says, so are you saying there's a chance for a Trent live show at Gen Con? I kind of did something similar to that.
You should do it.
Yeah. Brian says, Gruntle Flash Mob. Snake Eye says, anything that helps the adventure be their best is A-okay with me. I concur. So there we go, boys and girls. That was the riddle reveal for Ring Con, the Sacred Path, and the Sacred Circle. Jeff, any final thoughts besides you just being amazing, your staff being amazing, this community being amazing, and we just love that you keep making awesome stuff for us to enjoy almost every month, but definitely throughout the year. Final thoughts, you, sir.
Final thoughts. Wow. Well, I just thanks to everybody. I know I do that a lot, but I just have to because I got a great staff. John and Caitlin and Troy and Drake and
Lori.
Lori, she's not staff. She's the boss.
Oh, okay. No, sorry.
Matthew. Yeah, and then all the volunteers. So yeah, it's crazy. I just know I'm really lucky, and I appreciate everybody's help on letting me get to do this for you guys. So I wanted to say that, and then I also just wanted to say thanks to the token collectors who funded this whole thing. I hope you had a great time at Ring Con up here, and I hope I'll see you in 3 years for whatever it's called. We'll call it whatever con. I don't know. It's just a lot of great, awesome people just make this thing happen, and I'm just happy that I get to kind of be the dude that's just holding up a little sign that says, come have some fun with us, and everybody does. So thanks, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jeff. We will see you in about a month at Gen Con. So thank you again. Good luck putting the final touches on the Gen Con craziness that I'm sure is happening. And thank you again for being on the show. It's always awesome. I'll see you soon, buddy. Thank you, Jeff.
All right. Thanks for having me. Have a good night, everybody.
All right. See you, buddy. All right, everybody, that was Jeff Martin, the creator of True Dungeon, with the riddle reveal. How awesome was that? Yeah! Thank you to Jeff and the whole crew. All right, so now it is time to do our giveaways. So definitely the clicking has to stop. Click now very quickly and type in the form super duper fast because I need to grab the list and put it into our little thingy. So again, here's the first place, second place, and third place. You need to be here in order to win and say, hello, I'm here, or something like that in chat for the if your name is drawn. Lori Martin. Hey, Lori. I guess that means he is coming home for dinner. Yes, Lori. And Lori also says, thank you all. You guys and gals are awesome. Well, so are you. Cover Stealing Badger says, helpful tip before the drawing. Make sure your video progress bar is as far to the right as possible so you're watching as close to real time as possible. Good idea, Cover Stealing Badger. And I also have the latency settings to be as low as I can get them. So you guys should only be a few seconds behind my real time. So everyone Oh, did you say 2025? Ah, crap. Sorry. I thought I changed that graphic. My apologies. I've got a new graphic somewhere. Oh, you know what? It's on the other reveal thing. So anyway, these are going to be 2026 chips. Yeah, these are 2026 chips. So that's an old graphic. Sorry. And everybody else says thank you. And Scott is like, chop, chop. Spin it. Okay, so I was stalling for the last clickers there, Scott. Come on. All right, so I'm now going to grab everybody's names. Joshua Long is the last one. Looks like 73 people. So here we go. Let me do a little data check for duplicates. Let's see. Remove duplicates. No duplicates found. Excellent. So now I will go over here. And I'm going to go check one more time to see if anybody else has done the thingy. And that is it. All right. So then now I will share my screen, boys and girls. So here we go. Sharing the screen. All right. So now everybody... Big Ben says, thanks for stalling. Yes, no problem. Big Ben, did you get in there? Let me just do one quick check. So, yeah, Joshua's still the last one. I hit refresh, and Joshua's still the last one. Okay, so here we go. All right, so everybody should see your name there. And here we go. Cover Stealing Badger. Okay. All right, so now, whoops. This is going to be for third place. Everybody, Big Ben sees your name. Excellent. Here we go. Here is third place, which is a 1K bar and a 10X treasure chip 2026. And good luck, everybody. Come on. Third place. Big money, no whammies. Chris saw his name. That's good. All right, here we go. Good luck, everybody, says Chris. Ah, and Scott. Scott was like, chop, chop, buddy. Come on. Scott's like, come on, spin the wheel, damn it. Oh, that's funny, Scott. All right, so Scott, say hello in chat, because that's the rule. There you go, here. Outstanding. So I like how Scott was like, come on, I got places to be. I got things to win. All right, I'm writing the name down the old-fashioned way. All right, so that's third place. So I will remove your name. Okay, congratulations, Scott. Chop, chop, says Scott. All right, here we go. Here's second place, which is a 5K bar and a 3X chip. Like I say all the time, this is like the sweet spot, I think. All right, second place is Aaron Binder. Aaron, say hello in chat. And congrats, Aaron Binder. AA Magic High. All right, so that's you. Excellent. All right, so then we will remove. And now, first place. Congratulations, Aaron, says Lori. This is a 25K bar. Not too shabby. And a single 2026 treasure chip. Good luck, everybody. Big time, big money. Here we go. Oh, Eric close. Oh, Jason close. Tom Whelan. Tom is first. Say hello in chat, please, Tom. On their own, Tom. Congrats all. So, oh, there you are. I'm here. Thomas Whelan. Excellent. Congrats, Tom, Aaron, and Scott for second and third. Thank you very much to everyone for watching the show. I really do appreciate it. Please do that, liking and subscribing. It really helps me spread the love of True Dungeon, and I know you all want to spread the love of True Dungeon as well. Help me get to like 600. I think we're close. I think we're like at 580. I see people saying congrats to people in the chat, which is awesome, and people saying thanks. Hey, Maggie, and thank you for watching. And don't forget, one of my favorite things to say, boys and girls, it's really, really difficult to frown when you're smiling. So everybody, please smile.